everybody. I'm here with a Sears Kenmore. It is a let me make sure, 148.1217 model number. Here's her original book. She actually has her book, which is really nice. Let's see. I don't know where she got the machine, but it's a really nice but old machine, and I had just got done running the cotton through, and it looks like it's doing really good. So I decided, well, heck, let's try denim to make sure the machine is running in perfect condition. And I started it out where it was still set up for cotton. And you could see the difference. When I set it up for cotton, it was still cutting tiny smaller. It was getting too loose. So I thought, oh, heck, I have to set this up for it to be running on, denim. So this is a denim cotton here. And I pushed this all the way down. I poured this right into 8. So at 9, I put it right at 8 because of the cotton and that. And then when I did that, it made it nice and tight again. So it moved it over to tight, and then the stitching got bigger. Okay, so if you can adjust your sewing machine, you can get this machine to do just about anything you want to do. And if she's going to do any kind of like denim or heavier cottons, I would advise her to go up to make sure this stays nice and strong, and this goes down. Okay, and this part was replaced. I had to replace it because when I was trying to release it, because I always take these off and clean them, because sometimes people don't get them cleaned, or they don't get them greased, or they don't get them oiled correctly, and they get frozen. So that's what happened. In here it shows you it froze up on me, and I could not get it to release. Found out parts of this thing broke. So, like the top here, this thing broke off as plastic right there, and something was like glued or something on there. I couldn't get this thing to budge until I really yanked on it really hard, and it came out, but it broke in the process. So, and I gave her a new belt, and I gave her the original rubber belt that Kenmore always used. It's working great. Gave her a new light bulb. That one popped on me. As soon as I tried to turn it on, it goes pop. I went like, oh, that was nice. Anyway, so okay, I got her a new one of those. So I still have a lot of original Kenmore parts, so I can actually still work on Kenmore, a whole lot of Kenmore. A lot of people said, where did you get the parts at? Well, before Kenmore sold out to Brother, that was years ago, I went ahead, or actually Brother sold out and Kenmore bought them, and then Kenmore decided to get rid of the domesticated altogether and just work on industrial. So I went and said, oh, that's great. So I went and bought as much as I could before they went out of complete business anyway, but they're still doing industrial. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that. So, but I still really like the Kenmore old-fashioned sewing machines. I really think they're great. And I still got to do a little bit of fascia cleanup here, a little bit of glue and stuff. Still got to get my sticker put on right here. But we go over this sewing machine really quick. I put an old spool on here. You always start them from the back, come across here. You hook it into the looper, down into this little thing. It slides right into it before you even start, putting this in, because right now these are tight. So as soon as you loosen this loosens up, so you can get it right into the symbols. Go up, over, pull all the way back, and it gets hooked up into this little lever here, and into this little taker right here. Into the uptake, you have to thread it through, come down into a little hook up there, a hook up there, and then into the needle. Okay, then when you're ready to sew, you can drop this back down. This is a bottom feed. It's a side bottom feed right there. She said she had a hard time getting that put in. If you actually lift these sewing machines up and lean them down onto like a towel or something, that back here, you can actually put that in so much easier. That's just the way I do those. And then, let's see, to make a bobbin, you want to, well, this one here is already kind of half full. I took this one off, the one she had on here, and use this thread because I'm trying to make it the same. Anyway, and so here you would put the thread here on this little guy here. You come around here and you're going to circle this. You're going to go around this, back this way, all the way to here, and then you click it in. I don't know if I can click this in. Click it in, unscrew this little thing here, and it untwists this so it disengages the sewing machine, turns off the clutch and everything, and then you go ahead and wind this up, okay? Or you can actually sew at the same time, but we don't want to do it that way. And then you make sure you retighten that back up. Let's see. When you want to do like a drop stitch here, this is a drop stitch. You can turn this on. It's right now it's off. And this is your width, which is your zigzag. This is your stabilizer, where if you slide this over to keep it there, because right now if you do this, it's not going to go unless you take this knob and tighten it. And then that will hold it to wherever you want it to go. But see, when your needle's down and you're doing this, okay, you can bend that needle. So you always want to make sure you bring your needle in the highest position. So when you move this, okay, when you move this right here and you see it move over, it won't break your needle or bend it, okay? So you want to make sure the needle's in highest position. This here is your length and your reverse. So if you pull up, this will reverse. And it'll stay in reverse until you pull it down, okay? All right, let's see, make sure this is all the way down because I want to make it on 4. To turn on it, this is your on button. This is the knob that drops your feed dogs if you want to just do your own sewing. Everybody will ask me what this crazy thing is. That actually holds it down so it doesn't flop over by mistake, okay? I'm trying to think anything else I got to remember. Let me think, turn this off for a second. And here's your light bulb, okay? And so if you ever had to change it, you know, this is the part that opens up and you can see your light bulb. I think that's it. I mean, if you want to stay stable when you're like doing some small sewing or something and you want this not to move, you can actually make this tighter and it holds it right there. It's like these little extra holdy things that's on here. Okay, so let's turn it back on so you can hear what it sounds like. It's really quiet. And it's sewing really nice. And you can put it in reverse. So you can go over here and push up and it'll go in reverse. Then you want to go back down to, so that way you can lock in your stitches like that. And then whenever you get done, you pull this out. You do have a little small cutter right here. This is a cutter, okay? And then we're going to pick this up and turn it around, look at it. See where we backed up right here, like that. And we turned it upside down to see it, and it's stitching beautifully. Let me think, go back this way, and we're going to make it stop in the center so we can get everything ready for her to pick it up. Got to do a quick cleanup on it, though. There's still sticky residue from stickers and things that I got to get off of there. Put my sticker right here. I already written up her bill, and everything's set to go. So you can put this up a little bit if you think this is too harsh. You can actually move this up just a little bit, come down. But that thing works perfectly. It goes all the way up. You can see the little extra lines where you need to go. This line's here for heavy duty. This is for lightweight. You see a little line there. And then right in the center is for cotton. So this is a cotton denim, so it's not really heavy. So you could actually bring it down to that spot right there and still have, you know, no issues in running this. You always want to, when you want to turn this, you want to make sure the foot is down. Doesn't mean the needle can go up or down. No big deal where the needle's at. You want to make sure this is down so you can move your knob. So if you want to go to 9 or if you want to go to 6, this is when you do it because it will click in. But then if this is up and you do this, you can mess it up and then it gets all screwy. I'm trying to think anything else I could tell you about the machine. I don't really have too much more that I can tell you. I know if you turn this on and have this on zigzag, you have a drop stitch right here. But I mean, overall, it's a really great sewing machine. If you have one like it, okay, I would love to hear from you. If you, got it as a gift, or if somebody who inherited it, or maybe you just always had it and you want it to tell me what you like to make. I'd love to hear from you, okay? Like the video and keep following along. Subscribe if you can. Excuse the horrible mess everywhere. When I bring a cat home for Christmas this year, kind of gave it to my husband for Christmas. He sat there and he goes, but I don't really want this cat. But now he's starting to love the cat and he doesn't want to get rid of the cat. But she's into knocking everything down in my sewing room. That room, I had to close it because she got in there and knocked everything down. I can't even walk in there, so I just shut the door. So I'm just not going to bother going in there until I get a chance to have my daughter here and she can help me organize that room again. But anyway, so the cat is a kind of a nuisance, but it's kind of nice to have around because she's calming. I like a calm cat. Anyway, have a blessed day, and I hope you liked the video, and comment below. Love to hear from you. Okay? Bye-bye.